What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Minute channel. And this video is basically one of the things that I've been meaning to do for a while, just for a variety of reasons. But before anything else, this channel is mainly about Persona and Atlus, so a lot of the stuff that I talk about are about that. So if you're interested in the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. This is the way that I will continue to grow my channel and so on. But regarding the video itself, for the last few months or a year or so, there's been a massive amount of people that I see commenting on Atlus's Twitter or a YouTube page or anything like that, whether there's some kind of this content, just people wanting to know more information on a specific project that they are working on. For example, Shin Megami Tensei 5 or some other stuff. So today we're going to talk about all the projects that Atlus is currently working on, the ones that they have been announced, the ones that have been speculated and leaked on, and that we already kind of know about, even though they haven't talked about it and everything. So this is pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with it. First of all, we're going to talk about one of the projects that we already know about, and that is going to be Persona 5 The Royal. We already know about this project. Nothing much to say other than this is a remake of the original Persona 5 with new characters, new story bits, new endings, and that kind of stuff. So overall, I think I covered a lot about Persona 5 Royal. So throughout the rest of this video, I'm not going to focus on it other than it's there. We already know about it. Persona 5 Scramble that was announced sometime this year, and it has been announced that this game is gonna be a Mushu game style of the Warriors type of game. We've seen plenty of gameplay of the Warriors game, so you can kind of have a pretty good idea of what it looks like. We don't know exactly how it's going to be for the Persona fitting and everything like that, but we know that it's going to be a Warriors game, and we know basic information about it. So looks okay, I think, as far as what we seen so far, which hasn't been a lot, to be honest with you. But this is not something that I exactly wanted them to work on, but it's fine. I mean, it's not like the worst things that I've ever done or anything like that. Definitely wanted something different, but it is what it is. So moving into the other project that we know that they are definitely working on is Shin Megami Tensei 5. So Shin Megami Tensei 5, I made a video all day about it. It's been 2 years since we heard anything about Shin Megami Tensei 5, and a whole year since we had anything SMT related. The last game that came out was a remake of an older game. This is a game that was out already months ago, and it was just kind of a remake, I guess. You can say that was the Strange Journey, but again, that was a game that was already out. It was just a remake, so I don't know if you can really count that. Besides that, we had obviously Persona games come out and so on, so we know that Shin Megami Tensei 5 is in process. We haven't heard anything about it, and hopefully we'll be hearing something during Tokyo Game Show. We know that they're going to be having some kind of talk show during Tokyo Game Show. That doesn't mean that we are going to hear about it, but it's a hopeful possibility that we might hear something during then. Hopefully, maybe. Well, another one of the projects that we know that they're definitely working on, and it's actually not Atlus themselves, and that's one of the things that I wanted to address the most, is a game called 13 Sentinels. So this game has been all over the place. It's announced on the YouTube Atlus website and so on. A lot of people, this is the one comment that I see all the time: where is SMT5? Why are you working on this? Stop working on this. Do SMT5. Nobody wants this game. Let me just clarify this for people that don't know. This game is not being made by Atlus. Atlus, besides being a developer, they're also a publisher. They publish games for other companies that are smaller developers. This is gonna be Vanillaware. The Vanillaware is making this game. If you don't know about Vanillaware, you probably definitely know their works before. Dragon's Crown, that's one of them. Audience Sphere is another one of them. So they have worked a lot of different games before. So that's Vanillaware. They're not Atlus, and Atlus is not working on the game themselves. They're just publishing the game. So if you could just stop commenting where is Shin Megami Tensei 5 on a Vanillaware video, that would be cool. It doesn't make sense at all for people to just get mad or anything like that when it's not even that. And the other project that we know about that they haven't actually talked a lot about is a project that actually been wanting to talk a little bit more for a while ago, and it is gonna be a new project by a new studio from Atlus, and this is gonna be Studio Zero. So Studio Zero comes out of the studio, P Studio, that works on the Persona games. So it has people working on this game like Katsuna Hashino, who made Persona 4, 5, and 3, as well as Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. We have Sujima, who is the character designer for Persona games, for Catherine, a lot of really cool, and obviously Shoji Meguro, who does all the Persona music and so on. So we have a massive powerhouse of people. The people that are working on Persona games, they are now working on something different, this new project. And we only seen 2 trailers, concept trailers about it, and they don't really have any meaning to them, really. Project RE Fantasy is supposed to be kind of like a different take, or a new take on fantasy RPG, which is whenever they first announced it, I remember watching an interview with some other developers, and they were like, oh god, they're already killing it with the modern fantasy. So seeing them going to something like just fantasy, an RPG setting and everything, sounds like something that they'll be pretty successful on. Unfortunately, again, we haven't heard anything about it, so I'm still very curious how this game is turning out to be and everything, because as much as I want to see it, they haven't announced anything, they haven't shown anything. So this is pretty much some other thing that they're working on now. I do want to clarify that there are different studios within Atlus, and they all do different stuff. They have the Shin Megami Tensei studio that works only on SMT games. They have a Persona studio that only works on Persona. They have this new studio that only works on this new game, and they have a studio that is working with somebody else to work on another project, which is the next project I'm talking about, and that is the Persona 5 Arena game. So while this has not been confirmed by Atlus themselves, this is actually something we already know about because of some leaks and some rumors and some stuff that they have come out in the open and everything like that. For example, we know that there was a delay on the development of this game, which is what we are listening about other spin-offs and so on instead, because this is it's been delayed for some other reasons. Now, if you guys don't know, the Arena games are made by Arc Systems, who make really good fighting games. So pretty exciting for that. We actually don't know anything about Persona 5 Arena, but we know it is in the works, and we know that Atlus is not going to let that go, because the first 2 games were pretty successful, and they were pretty popular as well. So I don't think there's any reason not to have another Persona Arena. That's why I'm pretty confident that they are still working on it. But that is pretty much all that we know on Atlus that is being worked on at this time. Pretty much all the projects that I've heard of, that I've seen, that I know about, and everything like that. Doesn't mean that they're doing other stuff, maybe some other Shin Megami Tensei games and so on. But that is it for this video in particularly. If you guys know of any other stuff that they're working on, my hopes is that SMT is going to get an announcement sooner than later, just because it sounds like when SMT was first announced, SMT5, I think that it had just started development. Looking at 2 years has passed, I think they should have at least something to show at this point, if not even more. But I don't want you guys to think that Atlus doesn't, they don't put the studio into it. It's just that there's other studios that will do other stuff. So I think it's a little bit funny when people just go, well, where's this game, or where's this game, when in reality they have multiple studios doing multiple games within Atlus, and obviously not as much as we wish they were doing, things like spin-offs and that kind of stuff. Obviously take resources, but I'm just kind of excited for everything Atlus. I'm a fan of the studio themselves. They do pretty good products, and I haven't been disappointed so far. So I'm pretty willing at this point to give them the benefit of the doubt as far as development time and everything. Even though I desperately want to hear more about SMT5, I desperately want to hear more about the Persona Arena. I want to hear more about the Project RE Fantasy, which is the project that they are doing right now. There's just so many stuff that I want to hear about more that Atlus is just not talking about and everything. But that is pretty much it for today, guys. If you would like to, please consider liking and subscribing, as I'm here on YouTube. And that's it. I'll see you next time.